Hello guys, Sir Grindelot here with a massive grinding session incoming. Look at how many golden keys I got during the weekend. Yeah, it was not a very good weekend for grinding. I actually ran 2 golden keys during the weekend because I was getting bored of doing the regular ones. I found a fairly low magical damage roll and a +1 to all abilities with a couple of not very relevant stats, but it may turn out to be useful if I want to do some testing here and there. And in my latest Kraahl video I forgot to show my gear, which is a bit sad, because I was so excited looking at the timer that I had next to me. I didn't show the gear. I was like, yeah, I did it. I need to save the video before it gets corrupted. I believe most of my stuff is the same as my previous Kraahl run. So the Dahiha infused with a Demon Bone, and it has a +2 to all abilities. This one should be the last one that I found in a video. Astral Sword infused with a Demon Bone. This one is a +2 to all abilities that adds a bit of strength, and I don't remember what else. It may have been just strength and +2 to all abilities. This was the first one that I found and it was not recorded. This one I believe I recorded it. The enchantment. It's a Chaos Band infused with a Dragon Slayer, and it has +2 to all abilities and a few stats, not very relevant, but a few things here and there. The amulet, well, right now on my character I have an Aether because I need to do some farming, but the one that I use for Kraahl is always this one. An Equilibrium infused with a Dragon Slayer, and the problem with the enchantment is that the +1 to multi-missile doesn't look very good. People may say, well, you just dropped a +1 to all abilities, why don't you just replace it? It's because I believe this enchantment had some magical damage and intellect bonus. So if I replace it with a +1 to all abilities that has no flat damage increase, I'm going to lose DPS, and no, this one I only use it for Kraahl, so I only care about DPS. The other Chaos Band, a regular one with a fairly good roll. It was above 4,000 intellect. I don't remember by how much, but it was above 4,000. No, 4,000? Oh yeah, the basic... No, not intellect, the magical damage. The basic magical damage was above 4,000. I wish Chaos Band had 4,000 intellect. And the enchantment is a +1 to all abilities with a lot of physical damage. It's completely useless. Astral Shield infused with a Demon Bone. This one is an enchantment that I dropped during a video. It had a bit more than 2,000 magical damage, 300 intellect. The last stat I don't remember it. And this is the last equipment that I changed. Astral Armor infused with a Demon Bone, and the enchantment has around 1,800, very close to 1,900 magical damage and a bit of intellect. And I believe it had a little bit of magic find, but I may remember that incorrectly. Now I will put the stuff back in the bank and I will start grinding. Meanwhile, I will talk about how I improved my Kraahl time. Let's do the golden keys first. I decided to go with an Astral Armor infused with a Demon Bone because what I noticed is that ever since I replaced my old Dahiha, which was a Dahiha infused with a Dahiha with a +1 to all abilities, I replaced it with a Dahiha infused with a Demon Bone. I noticed survivability issues. Not while farming, but I would die more often against Kraahl, using Strength of the Weak, which was my main DPS weapon, DPS armor. So I decided to change things around a bit. And since I dropped that enchantment with fairly high magical damage and some intellect, I decided to try with the full Astral set to get the extra orbit. Plus the armor adds a lot of survivability and intellect. and I fused it with a Devomon with a very good roll, and I decided, you know what, let's give it a try. And well, as I wrote in the description of the video, I mainly cut 5 seconds just by changing the moment I start counting. It makes more sense to count when the purple bar starts, which is what I did in my latest video, but I wasn't sure how to do it earlier, because my fear was that you could damage Kraahl, like start damaging it, as soon as your multi-missile hits it, not when the purple bar shows up. So I was like, when should I start counting? But I decided to do the more standard thing of measuring when the purple health bar shows up, so it's easier to measure everything. And compared to the previous method, that's 5 seconds quicker just by default. And with the Astral Armor, with the new enchantment, I consistently got times around 3 minutes 35, like consistently around there. The quickest one was around 3:32, and the slowest around 3:40. Even if I have to admit that I restarted a few tries during which I got 5 or 6 knockbacks within the first 25% of Kraahl health points. And I believe the one that I uploaded and that I managed to do in less than 3 minutes and a half, I probably got a bit lucky on the knockbacks, especially around the end. If you notice at the beginning of the video, I got quite a few knockbacks, and to be honest, there were a few moments during which I thought about restarting it. Regular keys. But then I noticed that the knockbacks started to slow down, and then I believe in the last 20% of its hit points I didn't get knockback at all, and that helped a lot. It really helped me a lot. Regarding the enchantments, I think that I'm overvaluing +1 to all skills, because I mentioned in my previous videos that on my non-astral Chaos Ring I had an enchantment with some magical damage, and when I replaced it with a +1 to all skills, that had nothing else for me, because the other bonus was physical damage and I don't need it. My damage overall basically didn't change. I mean, on hits of tens, if not hundreds of billions, I was dealing 100 million more, which is nothing percentage-wise, like it makes no difference. So I'm starting to think that I should start to value enchantments with a high magical damage roll more than +1 to all abilities with no flat damage increase. And I'm glad that I got, oh, I put it in the bank, a spare +1 to all skills enchantment, because after I drop a new enchantment with high magical damage, I want to throw it on something. It could be on the Equilibrium, or what is it called, on the Chaos Band, just to see if it's actually better than the +1 to all skills with nothing else. And if that's not the case, it's okay. I can overwrite it with the +1 to all skills that I dropped during the weekend. But if having flat magical damage and intellect helps, then that's great. Not really for farming, because I'm currently around 20 billion with what is it called? Magic Orbit. Around 20 billion with Magic Orbit and 80 with multi-missile. Yeah, I'm above 80 with multi-missile, so farming anything under Reincarnation 17 is like trivial. Absolutely trivial. And I like to focus on this kind of reincarnation because it gives me a good balance between drops and keys. Going through dungeons where I can one-shot everything means that I can get keys very quickly. And doing this kind of reincarnation tier means that I still get a reasonable chance of finding tier 6 equipment. There is not a lot of equipment that I'm looking for, at least for the mage, with this setup, but having extra chances of finding it is always good. And I was actually thinking about trying to go back to grid, because I believe that right now my damage is so high that if I replace the Astral Sword with grid and change the Australian wheel around for daggers and stuff, I should still be able to farm all this content very easily. But I have not tried it yet. I will probably try it in the next few days during my commute to work. Today I have a day at home, yeah, so I can spend some time grinding. I don't think I will upload everything that I do today in AnimA, just because most of it will be... Where is the mouse? Oh, okay. Most of it will be like regular keys, and I will try to gather up a few golden keys, hopefully, to make a golden key video tomorrow. Oh no, not this. Okay, the monsters, okay. But like, if I have 3 or 4 grinding sessions of 1 hour or so, I don't think I will upload all of them. But we will see. We will see. So, how was your weekend? My weekend was okay. I spent a lot of time at the park with my little girl, my daughter. Sometimes I say things, and only while I listen to them on YouTube or while I edit the video, I'm like, oh my god, now I'm on an FBI watch list. I'm talking about my daughter, FBI guys, okay? I have a little daughter. What was it when I said that I went camping? Something like, if you go camping with a younger kid, it's fun during the day, not so much during the night. Which in my head made perfect sense, because during the day we played a lot. But then at night it was a noisy environment, she couldn't sleep well, and then she was too excited by everything we did during the day. This sounds weird again. And so she didn't sleep well, she woke up 3 or 4 times during the night. And the morning after, I felt a bit like a zombie, and she was very tired as well. But yeah, the way I say things sometimes makes me worry about what people may be thinking. Or maybe I am the only one thinking about this sort of stuff. Which one would be worse? I don't know, I don't want to think about it. But it was a fun weekend for me. Spent a lot of time at the park. My daughter has started to understand the meaning of letters, which is very interesting, because you show her something with the letter J, like she has some cubes with the letters on them, and we can put it on a toy that read the letters to them. And so I show her the cube, and I say, look, this is the letter J, and she looks at it. And then I put it in the toy that plays it, and the toy says the letter J, and she looks at me like, oh, Dad knew it. Maybe there is a connection. Maybe there is some red pill behind all of this. And she's starting to understand that there is a connection, even if I don't really know if she has any idea of what's actually going on. But she's a smart kid. No, we are not doing zombies. And so it was a fun weekend. For AnimA grinding, I cannot say it was awful, because I got the enchantment that I have on the armor that allowed me to do Kraahl in less than 3.5. But if I focus exclusively on the grinding, like, I got 1 enchantment that is okay, nothing amazing, but okay. And I have not saved a single piece of gear in the bank over the weekend, and I only got a total of 4 golden keys, 2 that I ran during the weekend because I was getting bored, and 2 that I saved for this video. So regarding the grinding itself, it was not amazing, but it was alright. I improved a bit. And yesterday, while I was uploading, not yesterday, 2 days ago, while uploading the Kraahl video, I had a look at my older Kraahl attempts, and I was like, oh wow, my gear improved so much. And then I had a look at my very first grinding videos, and I'm like, oh my god, is this even the same game? Because back then I was happy doing calculations like, wow, I need to be able to do more than 3 billion damage on the Magician's Tower 5th floor, because this way I can one-shot mobs. But it's better to deal 5 billion damage, so that if I find a pack of mobs with the area effect that reduces my damage in half, I can still one-shot them. And now it's it's like, come on. How does that even compare to this? But I think it's fair, because I really play the game a lot, and even if I get mad at the game more often than not, I'm getting rewarded eventually. It's honestly what I was expecting when I started to upload videos. Like, in 1 or 2 months from now I will look at this and think, my god, I was so bad, and my gear was so bad. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's good, I like to keep track of improvements. Still no golden key, which makes me think I'm on track with the weekend record, which is not ideal, but it's what it is. This is a very small map, I'm already halfway through. Wow, look at the meter, look at... It went from 47 to 80, like boom! That was amazing. Can every map be like this? Double key. Full backpack? Yeah, let's go to town. Recycle some stuff and check out what kind of enchantments we got. Enchantment, we have a blue one. Oh, rubbish. And a purple. Oh, okay. Very high magical damage. This is... Unfortunately, it's dexterity. Like, if it was 512 intellect, I would have been very, very excited about that enchantment. No, maybe I will not put it in the bank. Maybe I will use it right now. I think I will not upload. No, it's not up. Overwrite. I will overwrite the one on the Chaos Band. Which has... Like, the one on the Chaos Band has a very high physical damage roll, but I kinda decided that my warrior will become my devastating blow character. I don't plan to... We will do it in the dungeon. I don't plan to use it like melee way for farming high tier content, just because it's too slow compared to the mage. Yeah, I'm dropping the golden nugget. I don't need gold. No one needs gold in this game, don't buy gold. 20 billion 500, 20 billion 500, 20 billion 500, okay, and 72. Why 72? Okay, 81 500. Let's overwrite. Is it the right one? Please, God, yes. For a moment I thought that oh no, I lost damage. I lost damage. Sad. Sad. Okay, so the +1 to all abilities is still better than a fairly high magical damage roll. So, something to keep in mind. But the one on the chest and on the shield, they also increase intellect. Like, they had a higher damage roll than the one I just used. And they also added intellect, and I do believe they increase damage more than a +1 to all abilities. Is my magic find okay? Yeah. I've suddenly realized that I'm not dropping a lot of stuff. So I think my next trip to the bank I will overwrite again the enchantment. We will use the one that I dropped during the weekend with +1 to all skills and what was it, armor? And some other useless thing. Well, armor is not really useless, but it is for the point in the game I am with the mage, I mean, the place where I'm farming. In terms of equipment, it may sound a bit repetitive, but the two things I'm only looking forward to drop are an Astral Equilibrium and another Astral Cowstring. I don't have any Astral Demon Bone in the bank. I have one with a roll that is really close to Astral, really close, but it's not Astral. And for testing, I'm okay using stuff with just good rolls, but if I find that I would like to put a Demon Bone on something else, don't even know what, but who knows, I would prefer to have an Astral one in the bag, but there's not much I can do about it. And regarding Kraahl, what's my next goal? I think that cutting time by another 30 seconds and go below 3 minutes, that would be a big oof for the time being. Because I need to cut around 30 seconds, which is 1/7. So, mathematically speaking, without worrying about the amount of knockbacks, I would need to increase my damage by around 15%. Now, using that Astral Armor with a Demon Bone and with that enchantment, my damage increased by roughly 10%. But I don't think there is any equipment that I can add which increases it by 15. There is no way. Because my Equilibrium should be okay. Like, not Astral, but not a bad roll. And an Astral one would only improve things slightly. Like a very moderate increase in damage. So I'm basically relying on enchantments with +1 or +2 to all skills, and possibly intellect for magical damage. Or both, that would be even better. Right now I have 3 enchantments with +2 to all skills, and apart from the +2 to all skills, the only relevant bonus that my mage gets is like 200 or 300 intellect. Oh my god, I need to backtrack all the way. No, maybe here on the left. I did. Oh my god. Oh, you, where are you? God, good god, thank you. So yeah, that would be my target. Like, I would use +2 to all skills with any stats on them. On probably the non-Astral Chaos Ring and the Equilibrium. But +1 to all abilities, I think that would only be a real upgrade with intellect and or magical damage. So it may take me a while to actually improve my Kraahl runs in a sensible way, but we shall see. I definitely was not expecting to do an under 3:30 run so soon after an under 4 minutes run, so who knows. All it takes is a bit of luck with enchantments, because I had a video, what was it, last week, where I ran very few keys and I got 4 very good enchantments, like a +2 to all skills, a +1 to all skills, and 2 enchantments with high magic damage. Like, if I could have another session like that one, who knows, maybe I could drop Kraahl in less than 3 minutes, who knows. But starting to rely on a lot of RNG for that. We will see. It's so annoying to see my damage being lower than what it was before. So a +1 to all abilities, note to self. No, these mobs are tanky, we don't care about these. I don't care about the damage on these. Okay, mage, 78 and 19. So a +1 to all abilities adds roughly 3 billion to my multi-missile and 1 billion to magical damage, to magic orb. Oh wait, is it a... okay. I'm not really looking for Dragon Slayers because I have at least a couple of spares on the Archer and an astral one for the day that I will need to equip the Archer, which is not something I'm really looking forward to for the time being. The Archer may actually become like a bank account, because I really don't use it, and I find it interesting. I like the speed and all this sort of stuff, but I have not found a build that to me outperforms Mage. So it's at level 1500. It has a few Australian Wheel thingies unlocked, but I think I will focus on the Mage for the time being and keep the devastating blow on my sights. Still need to do backtracking, right? Yes. It's okay. Wow, now that I have a look at how big the map is, it's not really okay. Should I restart him? Should I roll another hit? No, let's go. I know that a lot of people just do the walking simulator, but I find the reliability of Magic Orbit to be at the very least questionable. So, especially when I enter a room and I know there will be some mobs in it, I like to tap multi-missile. Oh my god, zombies and dogs, we are not doing this. Because basically by the time I arrive in the room with the teleport, a lot of stuff has already died, and Magic Orbit can usually clean up stuff. Oh. Like, here Magic Orbit can one-shot everything, in theory, but it doesn't really. Which is sad. Though it's not really exactly one-shotting everything here. Maybe they had a health bonus? I don't know, I didn't check. Recently I ran all the keys regardless of drop rate, gold increase, monster bonuses, and I just ran all of them and try to get to the Magister as quickly as possible. And I try not to be too picky in those that I keep, just because I prefer to have a spare one to use to avoid the zombies and dogs. Now, if placing back the enchantment with +1 to all abilities doesn't move my DPS back to what it was at the start of the video, I will be extremely confused and triggered, because the +1 that I have had on the cast band had +1 to all abilities and physical damage, so nothing that influences the mage. So in theory I should be exactly at what I was doing before. So a bit more than 20 billion with Magic Orbit and a bit more than 80 billion with multi-missile. We shall see. Yeah, doing this with the warrior would not recommend. Not fun. Purple one. Armor, magic resistance, magic find. It shall be recycled. Maybe not. Maybe I throw it on devastating blow build. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the two values are very low, very, very low. And yeah, I believe that all my devastating blow pieces are enchanted, with trash mostly, but they're already enchanted, so I think this stuff has to go. You see, the problem is you need to be lucky and get a purple enchantment instead of a blue or a yellow one. And then I would say that at least two of the free skills need to be relevant. I mean, of the free stats. Like, if only one stat is relevant, it's okay, but two make it very, very worthwhile. And then you also need to have a +1 to all abilities or +2. So the amount of RNG involved in this whole process is absurd. I don't know if anyone has ever managed to grind AnimA via macro. I think there is no way. Just because things move around the backpack all the time. I don't think anyone has come up with a script or a bot able to do that. But I would be curious to know, like, how long do you need to play the game legitimately, so not using bugs, duplication things, you know, all this sort of nonsense, but how long would you need to play it on average to have 7 enchantments with +2 to all skills, and your main stat, so let's say strength for warrior and intellect for mage, and magical damage or physical damage? Like, what are the odds of that? I would be really, really curious to know. Because if you get the enchantments because you find a good one and you duplicate 7 times, it's not a very statistically reliable. Because maybe you could find the first one after 3 rounds, after 3 keys, and then be like, ho ho ho, the drop rate of this kind of enchantment is nearly 100%. All you people who don't have it are just losers. Come on. I still remember a post from 1 or 2 weeks ago on Facebook of a guy. Look at my character, I'm level, I don't know, very low level. Very, very low level. Just started playing, look at how much good stuff I found. And it had like 6 Dragon Slayers, all with the same amount of slots at every tier. It's like, yeah, okay. It was really funny. Oh, by the way, I cannot join the AnimA group on Facebook, on my Facebook, from my Facebook page. It looks like private users can join that group, but as a page, because I created a page for my farming experiences, I cannot click it, I cannot join it. It's so sad. But it's okay, I will still use my Facebook page to upload the stuff. And every now and then I think it's easier if I want to share a thought, doing so on Facebook it's easier than on YouTube. Like on YouTube, in order to be able to share posts like on Facebook, I need a lot of subscribers, like 1,000 I believe. Which is not really a lot, but it's a lot for me. I have 30, a bit more than 30, so it may take a while. Because my original plan was to get around 5 million subscribers within a week or so, and then start to review. Well, what would I start to review? Underpants, like male underwear, and then sell out my channel to some Chinese firm who needs it for data mining, and become millionaire. That was my original plan. But it looks like things are slower than expected. So, if you really want to hear reviews of underwear for men or women, if you're into that, I could try. Click like, subscribe, and let all your friends subscribe. And if you have a few thousand YouTube accounts, click that subscribe button with most of them, not all of them. All of them would be suspicious, but most of them is okay. Are there even channels that review underwear? I refuse to make a search on YouTube regarding men underwear reviews, because I'm worried about what kind of thumbnail image I would get. Like, there would be enlarged crotches in front of me, and I don't want it in my search history as well. I think that not even an incognito tab would be good enough for that. If you're a bit triggered by the zombies in this map, don't worry, I am a bit triggered as well, but I noticed the percentage meter going up fairly quickly, so I decided to give it a try. And this is the last key in the bag. Yeah, that's sad. Now we rely on the RNG unless we want to do an extra trip to the bank right now, which will be a slight waste of time. So, unless we get zombies and dogs in the arcane passage, I think we just go with the flow with whatever the game gives us. Hopefully this map we are clearing right now will have a regular key and a golden key. We will run the golden key, fill our backpack with good stuff, I would say an astral demon bone and a purple enchantment, with +2 to all skills, nonetheless. And then we go to town to recycle stuff and probably get drunk with power. I'm around the 36-minute mark, and when I get close to 40 minutes, I start to panic thinking about AZ recorder cutting the video. So my idea is to go for another 5-10 minutes, also depending on what I find, and then call it a day for this video. Later we will see. No golden key. Oh, but we got 2 regular keys, that's nice. Which means if we get something we don't really like here, we have a chance. Not great. Oh no, is it zombies, dogs and skellies? Maybe. Yes, zombies, dogs and skellies. It's okay. We are already at 20%. The game is being benevolent. I believe that so far in this half an hour of grinding regular keys, maybe 25 minutes, I don't know for how long I just did that. I only got a couple of maps with zombies and dogs with large populations, so it was not too bad. I wish the RNG would always be like this, more or less. Not for the drops. For the drops, I would hope to see something better, but for the maps, like you need a bit of variance. You cannot get 6 times in a row the same population, regardless of if it's good or bad. I wish I could only get the what are they called? Like the knights and mages, or the cyclops, you know, all the sort of stuff. But it's okay if every now and then we need to endure zombies and dogs. I kinda feel a golden key coming here. My feeling was not correct. I need to remember to remove that in post. I should do that every video. Like right before the Magister, I add an audio clip. No, I need to record an audio clip of me saying, "Oh, I feel a golden key coming," and then every time that that I'm farming and I actually drop a golden key in the video, I should include that clip. and oh wow, Sir Grindelot can sense the keys coming. He's so skilled. But of course, it would better be in like an ironic way, so I would use the same audio clip every single time, and people would know, oh, okay, there is a golden key coming right now. I feel like there is a golden key coming right now. Maybe not right now, there is no Magister. Let's wait for the Magister and try again. And if it works, I will just cut the clip and use it all the time for everything. Do I sense a golden key coming right now? No, it didn't work. Maybe that sentence is completely cursed and I should never use it again. The last time that I got a golden key on demand, I was actually complaining about the lack of golden keys. So maybe that's the secret. Let's go to... Let's try to look for a map, okay, without zombies and dogs, so that we can reach the Magister. And we try to do the complaining part. Maybe that's the final red pill in this game. You complain, the microphone of your phone or your computer records it, sends it to a data bank that processes it and stores it in a Chinese database, and where they know everything about you. And then the game decides, depending on how much you complained in recent gaming history, if you deserve a golden enchantment, no, a golden key, a good enchantment, you know, all this sort of stuff. I'm a bit lost. Oh, I need to go in that direction. Okay. I really thought that that side was enough to finish the map, but turns out there is still a lot more. Oh, is there an area here? Yep. Ah, a small one. Okay. We left a lady alive in that room, which is okay, we are gentlemen. And so she will be able to tell all the other ladies how cool we are, which is a good strategy. Always leave someone alive when you commit a violent crime. That's my advice for you. How come I'm not getting any golden keys today? Let's see. Didn't work. Okay, backpack is full. Don't quote me on that violent crime line, okay? That I don't condone crime or violence. What is this? Clean blood, come on. Sometimes double tapping is so difficult. I got so many King's Obsession during the weekend, I cannot believe I'm still dropping it. Basically every time I dropped a ring with that skin during the weekend, it turned out to be that, the King's Obsession. We put those back, and enchantment with skill is here, and we want it here. Okay, yeah, it is done. So I will run one more key just because I want to check the damage. If it's different, I will have no idea about how the damage is calculated in this game. Above 20, above 8. Okay, so it works. It works. Not everything in this game is completely bugged and messed up. Did I see a spellbound? Oh, no. It's okay, I don't need a spellbound. I have 2 astral ones infused with... what is it? With Dragon's Layers, and I don't even use them. What the fuck? In theory, I should use them for this kind of content, just because they can deal a bit more damage than Chaos Bands, but it doesn't really matter. Because if a mob survives a single hit, having the bleed damage on it is a lot better. So I just stick with Chaos Bands. On Kraahl, Chaos Bands deal a lot more damage than Spellbounds. Like, no comparison. Absolutely no comparison. Because the first tick of bleed damage applies at the same time as multi-missile. So even though a single multi-missile hits for more with the Spellbounds, once you add the first tick of bleed damage, things change completely. Like billions and billions more damage for Chaos Bands. What do we say to this Magister? Oh man, I really wish I had a golden key to finish the video. No. So let's do one more. Yeah. It's only 9 in the morning. Still a bit early to be productive. Oh my god. I don't want to do that map. I want the Dark Palace, the Black Palace. I have not seen that. Did I get that map at all during this grinding session? No. Oh my god, zombies and dogs. I got the Golden Key dungeon based on the Black Palace, but I don't remember going. Oh, good. This is the perfect way to close the video. Complain about the Black Palace? We got it. Oh, if only the Magister had a golden key, that would make me so happy. Wink, wink. Wink, wink. I hope my daughter will never hear me playing the game and complain about something in order to get it. I will have to throw her from the window if she starts doing that. So far she behaves pretty okay. Even if she's at an age where she starts testing us to see what she can do and what she cannot do. And we don't want her to walk at the door, at our entrance, because the entrance is a bit dirty. You just walk in from outside with the shoes, and even if we take them out, like we still need to enter the house first. So it's a little bit dirty. And for a few days, every time she went there, we would tell her, "Daughter, don't go there." But she kept going, and so we started to bring her back. And I think that she started to think of it a bit as a joke, not a joke, as like a play, as if we were playing. And the other thing was to see for how long we would let her stay there. And then I decided, you know what, I will ignore her. There is nothing to do at the entrance. And it worked. Like, my daughter now goes to the door and she starts to touch the handle and the lock and everything. And I ignore her. I start to play with the phone, or I start to read her books or by myself. And eventually, after 5-10 seconds that she's doing nothing, nothing that is fun for her, she looks at me and walks back to me, and she wants to read the book with me, and I'm like, oh, destroyed. I outsmarted you. Young kid who is 1 year and not even 1.5. And I feel good about it. Which says more about me than about my daughter. But luckily this is the end of the video, more or less, so very few people will make fun of me for this. I think that most people will check this video just for the build that I used for Kraahl. So. Last Magister, for real. Okay. Didn't get a lot done in this grinding session. Anything potentially useful here? Not really. No, not really. Okay, so we are done. This is great. Still grind a lot checking out. Wishing you all a happy grinding, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Take care. Oh, let's open the chest. Okay. Who knows? Bye bye.